Money doesn't fill the silence when you wake up alone. That was the cruelest truth Emma Carter had to learn, though she would never admit it aloud. In her world, vulnerability was weakness, and weakness was the one thing she had promised herself she'd never show again. Emma was the kind of woman people whispered about in New York. A self-made millionaire at 30, CEO of a fast-growing tech empire. Sharper than a knife and twice as dangerous. Her beauty was intimidating. Dark brown hair always pinned back with precision, piercing blue eyes that never softened, a wardrobe of sleek suits that screamed power. She had everything except the one thing she swore she didn't need. Love. Love was messy, unpredictable, and worst of all, it demanded trust. Emma had learned the hard way that trust could destroy you faster than any market crash. So she built her empire in her walls, tall and unshakable. And then came Lily. Lily Summers was not supposed to matter. She was supposed to be just another assistant, another name in the long list of faces Emma would eventually forget. But Lily was unforgettable. She had this maddening smile, warm hazel eyes, and an ease about her that didn't belong in Emma's cold, polished office. She moved like she carried sunlight in her veins, and somehow, she managed to slip through the cracks of Emma's carefully constructed armor. Started with little things. The way Lily brewed Emma's coffee exactly how she liked it without ever asking twice. The way she laughed unafraid, even when Emma's sarcasm was sharp enough to cut glass. The way she stayed late without complaint, her determination shining as brightly as the city skyline outside their window. Emma hated it. She hated how much she noticed. One rainy night, the storm outside matched the chaos in Emma's chest. A crucial deal had nearly collapsed, her board of directors was restless, and the ghosts of her past crept in with the thunder. She sat alone in her penthouse office, drowning in frustration, when Lily appeared at the door. "You should go home," Emma said flatly, not even looking up. "And leave you here stewing in anger and bad whiskey?" Lily teased, stepping inside with her usual boldness. Emma's eyes flicked up, sharp and cold. "You forget your place." But Lily didn't flinch. She never did. Instead, she leaned against the desk, too close, her presence both infuriating and magnetic. "Maybe my place is reminding you that you're human, Emma. That it's okay to fall apart sometimes." For a terrifying moment, Emma felt the crack inside her widen. She saw the reflection of her loneliness mirrored in Lily's gaze. But then she snapped the wall back up, forcing a bitter smile. "Humanity is overrated," Emma muttered. "Emotions make you weak. And weakness doesn't survive in this city." Lily's smile softened, almost sad. "Or maybe emotions are the only thing worth surviving for." The words lingered long after Lily left that night. They haunted Emma in ways she refused to admit. Days turned into weeks, and the tension between them grew unbearable. Emma found herself watching Lily when she thought no one noticed. The brush of Lily's hand when she passed her documents sent sparks racing up her skin. The sound of her laughter made Emma's chest ache with something she couldn't name. But Emma was stubborn. She pushed harder, kept her distance, and buried her feelings beneath layers of sarcasm and coldness. Until one night it all exploded. They were in Los Angeles for a high-stakes investor meeting. The deal had gone flawlessly, thanks to Lily's meticulous planning, but Emma barely acknowledged her contribution. Back at the hotel, Lily finally broke. "I can't keep doing this." Lily's voice trembled, but her eyes blazed with defiance. "I can't stand by your side, giving you everything I have, while you pretend I don't matter." Emma froze, the words hitting her like a slap. "You do matter," Emma whispered before she could stop herself. It slipped out raw and unguarded. Lily stepped closer, searching Emma's face. "Then why do you keep pushing me away?" Emma's walls shook, crumbling faster than she could rebuild. She wanted to deny it, to push Lily back into the safe distance she belonged. But when Lily's hand brushed against hers, Emma felt her resolve shatter completely. The city lights outside the window blurred as Emma pulled Lily into her arms, their lips meeting in a kiss that tasted of fire and surrender. For the first time in years, Emma allowed herself to feel, and it terrified her. The kiss should have been the beginning of something beautiful, but Emma Carter was not built for easy happiness. The morning after in Los Angeles, she woke before dawn, staring at the ceiling of her luxury suite while Lily slept peacefully beside her. For one fleeting night, Emma had let herself surrender, and it had felt like freedom. But now fear clawed at her ribs. She slipped out of bed, buttoned her blouse with trembling hands, and told herself it had been a mistake. That was safer than admitting it was everything she had secretly longed for. By the time Lily stirred, Emma was sitting by the window, her face composed, her voice sharp again. "Last night should never have happened," Emma said without turning. The hurt in Lily's silence was louder than any storm. When she finally spoke, her voice cracked. "So that's it? You pretend it meant nothing." Emma's jaw tightened. She couldn't meet Lily's eyes. "I can't afford distractions, Lily. You know that." Lily stood there for a long moment, her breath uneven, then nodded with quiet devastation. "You're not protecting yourself, Emma. You're destroying yourself. And I can't watch anymore." That was the night Lily walked out of her life. Back in New York, Emma buried herself in work harder than ever. But the empire she had built suddenly felt hollow. Her office was colder without Lily's laughter. The coffee tasted bitter without Lily's touch. Worst of all, the silence at night grew unbearable. She had all the money in the world, but she felt bankrupt where it mattered most. For the first time, Emma understood the cost of her pride. Weeks passed before fate forced them together again. The annual Tech Innovators Gala was the crown jewel of Emma's empire, and she couldn't avoid it. She wore her arm-aura black silk gown, diamonds glittering at her neck, her expression unreadable. She thought she was ready, until she saw Lily across the room. Lily was radiant in a midnight blue dress, her hair loose around her shoulders, her smile softer than moonlight. She wasn't Emma's assistant anymore. She had taken a job at another firm, one of Emma's competitors. She looked happy, and that burned Emma more than she cared to admit. Their eyes met across the crowded ballroom. The air tightened, the world shrinking to just the two of them. Emma felt her chest twist with longing but also fear. Would Lily even speak to her again? She didn't have to wait long. Later that night, Lily approached, her expression calm but distant. "Congratulations on the award," she said politely, as though Emma was just another acquaintance. Emma's throat went dry. "Lily, can we talk? There's nothing left to say." Lily's voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed the hurt still lingering there. Desperation cracked Emma's mask. "I was wrong," she admitted, words tumbling out faster than she could control. "I thought pushing you away would protect me, but all I did was lose the only person who ever made me feel alive. I'm terrified, Lily. I've built my whole life on control and you make me lose it. But I don't want to live without you anymore." For a moment, Lily just stared at her, torn between anger and hope. "You can't keep running from love, Emma. If you want me, you have to let me in all the way. No more walls." The room spun with music and laughter around them, but for Emma, time froze. Her chest ached with the weight of choice. For once, she stopped thinking like a CEO. She thought like a woman who had nothing left to lose. She reached for Lily's hand. Her voice shook, but her eyes were steady. "Then let me start over. Not as your boss, not as your mistake. Just as Emma. A woman who loves you, more than she ever thought she could." Lily's breath hitched. Slowly, she squeezed Emma's hand, the fire in her gaze softening into something tender. "Don't make me promises, Emma. Show me." So Emma did. That night, beneath the golden glow of chandeliers, Emma kissed Lily again. Not with fear but with certainty. The world didn't end. The sky didn't fall. Instead, for the first time in her life, Emma felt like she had come home. The weeks that followed were not without struggle. Emma had to unlearn years of pride and control. She stumbled, sometimes faltered, but Lily stayed steady, patient, and unyielding in her quiet strength. And little by little, Emma let herself be vulnerable. She let herself laugh, cry, dream, and hope, all with Lily by her side. One summer evening, months later, they stood together on the rooftop of Emma's penthouse. The city stretched endlessly beneath them, lights twinkling like stars. Emma slipped her arms around Lily's waist, resting her forehead against hers. "Do you regret giving me another chance?" Emma whispered. Lily smiled, her eyes glowing with warmth. "Not for a second. Even the strongest walls can fall, Emma. And sometimes they fall to make room for something better." Emma kissed her then, slow and sure, as the city pulsed below. For once, she didn't feel like the arrogant millionaire who had everything. She just felt like a woman who had finally found what she never believed in. Love. And this time she wasn't letting it go. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to get notifications about next videos.